Okay, in today's video, I want to try a little experiment. I'm going to use Silvally-Electric in the NU tier. I don't really know how good Silvally-Electric will end up being, but I wanted to use it for a couple of reasons. First of all, Rotomo, people are talking about how it's busted. Well, this is a different electric type, and it doesn't really have the same impact as Rotomo for a number of reasons. Right? It doesn't have Levitate, it doesn't have a powerful stab grass move to spam against the ground types, and doesn't have extra utility because it has to hold an item, so it can't run Choice Scarf or Heavy Duty Boots or Leftovers or whatever Rotom wants to run, right? So that really hurts Silvally, and Silvally has more moves, maybe, but maybe not the useful moves like Defog. Well, I guess it is a good Defog. I guess Defog. So it could run Defog, but it's grounded, so it's going to be a little harder to run. And I didn't get like Pain Split, right? Or Nasty Plot to really be an immediate threat. And so Rotom, of course, still is probably going to be better than Silvally in every aspect, but Silvally does sort of act as a similar kind of pivot Pokemon, and it has Grass Pledge as its only grass move, which is, not absolutely the worst. And funnily enough, you sort of have to run Grass Pledge on Silvally-Electric, because if you run into any ground types, what are you supposed to do, right? Now, of course, you can run Ice Beam, and Bolt Beam coverage is really good, but right now we have Gastrodon in the tier, and because we have Gastrodon in the tier, that means that you need to have that grass coverage for ground types. You can't just stick with Ice Beam, which is unfortunate, because Ice Beam, of course, is stronger, has a good secondary effect. Now, if you look in the calculator, the standard Electric Silvally set is a workup set with Ice Beam and Surf and workup, and then you run multi-attack in the last slot. And you could run workup on this set too, but I want Flame Charge. Now, if I hit Grass Pledge onto Silvally ground, then I switch out. I don't risk the speed tie. I just switch out, and then I come back in later on, and I hit Flame Charge. If I can Flame Charge into that Silvally, now I will be outspeeding it, and the second Grass Pledge will kill it. So 2 Grass Pledges and the Flame Charge is enough to kill Silvally ground, which is really good for Silvally-Electric, and I think is one of the only ways it can really beat that. Now, the particular EV spread here is a little bit funky. You see 3 physical moves, including its only stab move, and they're all physical. Then you got Grass Pledge. And then if you look at the EV spread, you see here that we're running a specially based Silvally, just by having most of the physical moves. And our special move here, being Grass Pledge, isn't even that good except for in cases where I have to hit a lot of ground type, or ground type in general, I suppose. And why is this? Because you have to hit Gastrodon. And Gastrodon is just that much of a threat. And I've got the EVs such that it's like a 99.6% chance to two-shot Gastrodon with full Spadef, Sassy Nature, with leftovers. So Heavy Duty Boots, of course, or any other set, maybe except for Rindoberry, will get equally two-shot by this, no problem. Even with the leftovers, though, 99.6% chance to two-shot. Maybe not the most important benchmark to hit, but it's the one I'm going for. Again, this is an experiment, and I don't really know how well this team is going to perform. Next up, we got Serena. Serena acts as another U-turner, so we can U-turn into our very powerful Pokemon in the back. And this is just a standard Serena. And next up, we've got Exploud here. Exploud is one of our breakers. It's going to just be the standard Specs Boomburst set. I'm running Banded Escavalier. Banded Escavalier is pretty fun to use. Of course, they're locked into a move, but a lot of times it's knockoff or Ironhead, moves that people don't want to switch into anyway. And Drill Run, I think, is a move that's really useful on Escavalier. So I have a Drill Run and Close Combat. We'll see if I regret that decision later on. Of course, there's lots of Escavalier sets that can be ran in NU, and Banded probably isn't the best one, but I wanted to have Escavalier as a wall breaker this time. This is a more offensive spread. I'm not sure exactly what benchmarks this sits, but this was the Sword Stance set, and I just put Drill Run over Sword Stance. Alright, next up we've got Analytic Starmie. Analytic Starmie plus Serena, so we don't have Rapid Spin on this team, and no Hazard yourself. And so maybe I'll switch this to being Rapid Spin later on if I find that I really am struggling with Hazards. But really, I think that's going to be this team's least of its problems. I think this team has a lot of problems, and is not a very good team. But I just wanted to try it out. Silvally-Electric, and these are the mons I decided to use. Finally, we've got Gastrodon here. Got a leftovers Gastrodon. Heavy duty boots might be better, especially if Haz's stacking is a problem. But leftovers, of course, is that good for that longevity. And we're going to run Ice Beam Earthquake. Ice Beam, of course, is all those grass types we can try to switch on in new. And Earthquake is generally better than Earth Power. You want to have a nice, strong physical move. And then Clear Smog here. Clear Smog is nice. I don't really think we're going to see too many Blastoises with Gastrodon being in the tier. But if we see any of those or any other setup mons, Clear Smog is, I think, the preferred option over Toxic in order to punish those setup sweepers. But we shall see. Anyway, let's find a battle. Alright, we found a battle. That's a battle against a pretty... Wait, if I recall correctly, this is that robot, right? I think this is that AI that plays Pokemon or something. Alright. Well, if they lead off with Rotom, and I lead off with Starmie, that's a problem. Because I don't really have any good Rotom switch-ins. In fact, that's one of the biggest problems with this team. If I lead off with Exploud, though, that might not be the worst option. Because that really threatens everything, right? Like, what are you going to switch into this? I have Scrappy. I'm just going to click Boom Burst here. And it's going to do a lot of damage. Okay. Now they may protect. And I do. So now I can just stall this out of Wishes, I suppose. Or I can go into my Silvally, and that's a better option. Okay. Here, the robot doesn't have an electric immunity. So I'm going to click U-turn. Okay. Apparently I don't know how to play against the robot. And they may try to quick Scald here, as they do. Okay, I'm going to click Boom Burst again. As they click Wish. Okay. I'm going to click Multi-Attack. And they get the burn. But unfortunate. Now let's look at Vaporeon. And your defensive. Grass pledged is 26%. So that's not going to cut it. 31% to 37%. Alright. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what you would do there. Gonna multi-attack the low. At this point, this doesn't really do too much. So if this is Choice Scarf, okay, it's not Choice Scarf. We're going to Serena. Click Volt Switch. Okay. I'm gonna go into Gastrodon. Okay. They may try to scout for Scald, so I'm gonna click Ice Beam here. Into Arcanine. They don't care about that apparently. Alright, Earthquake time. Now this is an interesting one. If I had Toxic like a normal Gastrodon, then this would be an awful switch-in. I don't really know why the bot doesn't know that. I'm gonna click Knock Off here. Yeah, I figured that they would do that anyway. Let's see. Okay, they got Talonflame here. Yeah, it's gonna click Brave Bird. I'm going to go into this to absorb that. I'm going to click U-turn as they click Roost. Alright. Go to Starmie. Click Thunderbolt. There's no way they stay in. No, they're gonna U-turn, almost certainly. But then this will be analytic boosted. And again, they have no electric immunity. Okay. Yep, Vaporeon. And that does a decent chunk. Gonna recover here. As that could click Scald, which is pretty nutty to me. Alright, there we go. U-turn last time did 40%. I'm going to recover again. Alright. I'm just going to sack my Silvally. It doesn't really do much against this anymore. And then I'm going to go into, let's see, how much does Exploud take? I just want to start breaking. Does 45 to 55. So I can live that. Now, given that I've shown Boom Burst, I feel like maybe it'll try to go into Deancey. As it does, good. And now it knows the specs, so it should go into Rotom, I believe. So I'm going to go into a Escavalier as the mid-ground. Here's the go to the Blade, which is fair enough. Quick knockoff here. And now that I've knocked off Eviolite, this should be about the same damage. Nice flinch, my guy. Alright. Now I can go to Starmie. Hydro Pump. It's no guard, so I won't miss. Gonna click recover here. Okay. I mean, I knew they were going to Brave Bird, but I don't really have much for that. I guess other than risking... Okay, so that's a nature roll. I'm just gonna go for Thunderbolt here. It's double down. Didn't want to lose my Starmie there, but I couldn't keep on recovering off the Brave Bird damage as it was. Alright, gonna go Explode. Still go Rotom, which is a good play on that part. Now Gastrodon sort of beats everything else here. They're not choice locked. Serena is a good play. Okay, yep, good. New turn here. They're gonna Volt Switch into their Arcanine. Or into their Diancie. And now at this point, Explode against Diancie. And the Stealth Rock. Boom Burst does not kill. So I'd have to click Surf. I don't really like that option. I'm gonna go to Gastrodon. And click Earthquake. Okay, they click that. Did not expect that at all. Okay, I'm gonna click Ice Beam, because if they get a drop, then I can come in and get a kill with Boom Burst. Yeah, okay. Boom Burst here, the Volt Switch. And go into their only thing that can take a Boom Burst. On the Serena. Okay, they Volt Switch there. I wonder if they'd Will-O-Wisp again. Would they Will-O-Wisp again? It seems such a weird play, you know? And a Boom Burst here. It fails to kill. Because of course it does. If I had Synthesis here, I feel like we'd be in a really good position. But we do not. So I lose to the robot. No! That's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't really know what some of those plays were. They're really weird. Like, why would you Will-O-Wisp my Serena? Very, very confusing to me. Okay. Now here's a more interesting team. Got Omastar and Articuno. Pretty threatening. We'll lead off with Silvally. Okay, so lead off with Mudsdale. Okay. Yeah, I don't really do that much to it. And I'm gonna go into my Starmie. I have to click Stealth Rock, which is fair. I'm actually gonna click Ice Beam here. Because they may go into Vileplume. I really don't think you stay in on this, at the very least. And so they have Vileplume, which is weak to Ice, and Xatu, which is weak to Ice, and Articuno, which is weak to Ice. You could go... I don't really think you go Omastar either. Now they could stay and just try to get some damage off on me, seeing how weak they are to Starmie. And that would be something. But they may predict the Rapid Spin and try to get some kind of Effect Spore with Vileplume or something. Is what I'm thinking. But we'll see what ends up happening here. Just waiting on my opponent to make the move. So that's the one nice thing about playing against the robot. You don't have to wait for that. You just click your button and away you go. Okay, so they do go Xatu. This is analytic boosted, so you're not going to live that. Now they go into Articuno. which I outspeed. Now, if they're weakness policy, that could be an issue. I don't know if they would run weakness policy, but, you know, maybe they will. Who knows? Thunderbolt is 2 KO, Ice Beam is 2 KO, and Hydro Pump is also 2 KO, but I could miss. I'm just going to click Ice Beam again. If they are weakness policy, so be it. As they are not, we click Hurricane and get a crit. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna go into my Silvally and click U-turn. I don't think you're staying on this. This is a speed tie. I guess you could if you wanted to. I don't know if that was choice specs. It could have been. We got a crit, so it doesn't. It's not apparent as to if they did. Actually, that might have just been normal damage. But, you know, you could risk the freezing glare. Cool, I am naive, so I'll take a lot of damage from it. But I think you switch into Vileplume or into your Mudsdale. And so I want to switch out, get some kind of positioning on that. Alright, Mudsdale. Since you turned out, I have freedom to bring in a nice Wall Breaker. Explode never kills. I feel like Gastrodon is so passive. You know? I'm gonna go into Serena and click Knockoff. That's what's gonna happen here. If they stay in, then I get a knockoff on the Mudsdale, and I can kill it with Exploud later on. If they go into the Vileplume, then I'll knock off a Rocky Helmet or whatever, which is fine by me. And I'm actually gonna click Rapid Spin, or actually I'm gonna click U-turn here. Click U-turn into a Escavalier. As I click Sludge Bomb, yep. Okay, and I am banded. So I don't think you want to stay in on me. But I don't think you go into your 12% Articuno. So I'm actually going to click Drill Run here. They may click Mudsdale. Actually, I'm going to click Knockoff. Alright. And now I'm going to go into Exploud. I don't think that you would go for Sludge Bomb against the Escavalier. But maybe you would. Maybe you don't feel particularly threatened by this Escavalier as well you should. They may try to calc and see if that's choice band and damage, and once they realize that it is, then they'll be like, oh, well, you can't even set up a Swords Dance. But they decided not to. Now, once again, we go back to the handy-dandy calculator, since I don't know any of my calcs. I have to click Overheat to kill, but I'm going to click Boom Burst, because I don't want to get locked into Overheat when they have an Arcanine, and I don't know if it's Flash Fire. And I don't want to let all my stars set up. Yeah, see, there comes Arcanine in. I don't know why they decided to go hard into it. It wasn't Flash Fire anyway. But, cool beans, I'll take that. I'm going to go into Serena again. Yeah, the quick body press there. Nice try, my guy. Click Rapid Spin here. You need to go Vileplume every time here. Vileplume really can't switch in. Oh, well, there you go. Alright. I don't know why they sacked the Arcanine. That was weird. Galarian Articuno is definitely a threat. But they didn't get too much mileage out of it, aside from my Starmie, I suppose, which was good. Alright, my opponent's got a level 1 Togedemaru, and I have no hazards, so this is unfortunate. But I do have a couple of knockoff users, so with knockoff involved, they can't really do too much with that. Alright, now they also have a Lycanroc, and I'm thinking the Lycanroc will be Sash Lead Endeavor. So let's look at Lycanroc. Anything goes lead? Maybe? Something like that? I'm not sure. And then Silvally-Electric. Grass Pledge completely blows that out of the water. I'm going to lead off with Silvally. Silvally might also tempt them into going into Togedemaru to get the... Well, actually, I don't know. Because it's going to be Sturdy Togedemaru, not Lightning Rod. So I'm not really sure what my opponent wants to do. Now, my opponent has Blastoise, which I have my Gastrodon for. They also have the Sceptile, which is a really big threat. It's going to be SD Acrobatics, and I don't really have anything good for that. So I just have to make sure that that I don't let it set up, if at all possible. We'll see how well that goes, though. This is a really, really scary offensive team. With a random token tomorrow. I don't know what the heck that's doing there. Yeah, so I don't know what this guy's deal is. 1348, so he's, on the mid-tier, the ladder, given that the NU tier is pretty small. It's not bad to be 1348. That being said, you loaded up a bunch of cheese on the ladder, and you're taking your sweet time. I don't really think it's that serious, my guy. But maybe he'll time out, in which case I will take timing out, because I don't really feel like facing this kind of cheese. Oh, thank goodness. Don't have to deal with that nonsense. Okay, 3 points. Let's get another one. Okay, good. Is this the ladder prefix? I don't know what the prefix is for the current suspect, but maybe it is. Another Blastoise. Gastrodon deals with that. It's gonna be Lead Aerodactyl. Now, Lead Aerodactyl, I am naive, not hasty, so Aerodactyl, and you lead. Earthquake does not to KO me, and of course I do a lot of damage with it. But do I get any value out of that is the question, and I don't really think I do. If I lead off with Starmie, though, I think I get a lot more value out of that. Okay, and I'm just going to click Thunderbolt. Ice Beam's better. Ice Beam's better, I think. Okay, they will Rock Blast me. They only get 2 hits here, which is, a bit unfortunate for them. I'll click Thunderbolt to shake things up. So they only get 3 hits. So that's a double down. But I prevent rocks on my opponent's team, which is good for me, I think. Now, they're going to go into something that they can pivot on, I think. I don't think they want to go into their setup sweepers. So they should lead off with Silvally or Decidueye, I believe. And I can go to Serena, capitalize on both of those, I believe. I don't think you go Drapion. But what do I know? Because for all you know, I have Silvally ground in the back. And going to Drapion, if I go Silvally, seems like a bad idea. Same with Tyrantrum. Okay, so they did go Drapion. Whatever, my guy. Do I care if this gets weakened a little bit? But I think I need to get a safe U-turn. Because I don't want to let my Exploud get knocked off. And now we're going to go into Exploud and we're going to click Boom Burst. As I go to Tyrantrum. I can't allow this to set up, and if it's adamant, I'll outspeed it anyway. So, they're not adamant, they are jolly, which is what they should be. Plus 2625, I outspeed that. Now I'm going to click U-turn. There's no way you stay in. Oh, except for I killed. Okay, that's good. Okay. I go Gastrodon, that invites in the Decidueye. I'm going to go into Escavalier, I think. Escavalier is probably my safest play. Okay, yeah, Silvally ground. That's what I thought. And, Yeah, okay, I'm just going to click Banded Ironhead as I click multi-attack. I wonder what kind of roll that is. But Flame Charge, which is within their prerogative. Ice Beam here. Just want to get this Gastrodon weakened, I can feel that. And I have to keep this alive. There's no way I can sack this. I'm going to go into Serena. They knocked me off. Oh, Spare Shackle, okay. Fair enough. Alright. Gonna click the Flame Charge here. It's not going to do too much, but It's really only my best option, I think. All-out attack or something like that. Yeah, it is my best option, unfortunately. What are you gonna do? Now, is that bandit damage? Even if it is bandit damage, nothing I can do about it. Nope, it's not. Good. Alright, we're just going to forfeit. Alright. This looks like a weird kind of team that maybe I can beat with my weird kind of team. Okay. They have no electric immunity, so this is good. That's the kind of thing we like to see. Voice crack. Okay, I'm going to lead off with a Silvally-Electric. Because they're going to lead off with Lopunny here. And I'm going to go for Iron Head. Okay, so they're full on Attract. I thought they'd be Trick Flame Orb with Protect as a lead, but they were not. Okay, Charge Beam. Serena time. Alright, let's see a turn here. The Ice Beam. We're going to Starmie. The Starmie, we're just going to click Hydro Pump. It could go Serena, but I'm not letting them stay in and do any more damage. Okay, so that was a really cheap set. They got really lucky. 3 turns in a row of Attract successfully happening, but whatever. What are you going to do? I need to keep this healthy. It helps with Altaria a lot, and it's my only Psychic Resist on the team. I'm actually going to sack my own Serena, I think. Yep, nice big Power Whip there. Fair enough. I'm going to go into my Silvally-Electric, and I'm going to click Choice Banded Knockoff. Okay, good. I didn't want to drill run there in case they went into Altaria or stayed in. I think that's not a bad option. Okay, now we go into Starmie again as a Dragon Dance. Alright, now I'm going to click Ice Beam. And this is sort of why we kept Starmie healthy, because I needed to Ice Beam the Altaria in case that got out of hand. Crazy that they went for Dragon Dance, though, because if I knocked off again, they would have been dead. Just straight up. Alright, this is almost certainly Choice Scarf, but I can't really do anything about that. But I sort of need to keep this around. What can I sack is the question. I can go into Gastronaut, I think that's my sack. Okay, it's a Life Orb though, so that's fine. We can deal with Life Orb. Just click Earthquake again. Okay. I'm gonna go into a Silvally-Electric. Actually, that was a misplay on my part. Because I'm just gonna die in Mystical Fire. I was not thinking there. So, that's a bit unfortunate on my part. Alright. Indeed. Except for his Choice Scarf. Or not Choice Scarf. Life Orb. Against that. It's not in range yet. And then Starmie. I'd bump it 66% to 78%. This is 65 to 77. I don't know. I'm just going to go to Silvally. A bit safer of an option. I'm going to click multi-attack. Hopefully we get the roll. As we do. Good, good, good. Thank goodness. That was a scary Pokemon. Well, I'm going to certainly go Serena here, and that's fine if they do. Now, I want to keep this around if I can. I'm going to go... Yeah, actually. Now, you turn here. Go into Explode. I don't really think Explode can do too much against the remainder of the team. Okay, as they were not jolly, so I'll take that. For sure. I'm going to sack this to Salazzle. With the Sludge Bomb, fair enough. Alright, now we're going to go into Starmie. And if they're modest on this, then I guess I have speed. And if they're timid, then that was a misplay. Okay, multi-attack here. And I'm going to multi-attack again. Okay. Been unfortunate to lose to that kind of team. Feel like this team definitely needs some work. Let's see what I can come up with. Alright. This is a decent opponent. They got Rotom. Like this team right here, that's a real team right there. That's a really scary team to face. I don't want to lead off with Silvally because I don't want to reveal my set. I'll lead off with Serena here. Okay. They lead off with a great option. I'm going to go Gastrodon here. As they go for Sludge Wave. And I'm going to click Ice Beam here. Alright, they've outplayed me that turn. Click Ice Beam again. Yep. If you click the wrong play once, you click the wrong play again. Rotom is Yachi Berry. That's another fun tech, I suppose. Alright. As I'm going to go Serena. They should Volt Switch here. There's the Nasty Plot. Okay, on a U-turn out. The Leaf Storm does lots of damage. I could go into my Silvally, but I don't want to reveal my set, so I'm going to go into Starmie. And I'm going to click the Thunderbolt. We'll go Silvally Steel. Okay, good. If I'd gone for Hydro Pump, that would have been even better. But what are you going to do? Thought they'd go Vaporeon, frankly. Okay. Oop. And the utility. Hydro Pump is not a 2 KO. Would you be that set? Yeah, you probably would be. I don't know. Go Gastrodon here. It's a parting shot, which is fair. Okay. My Gastrodon is toxic. So at this point, how much does it do? Hard to say. I'm actually going to click Ice Beam. It's a bit of a choke. But okay, apparently the pain split. I'm going to go into the Scavalier here. Okay. Now they're going to get tons of damage off on me. But okay, Slazzle's dead. That's fine by me, frankly. Alright, gonna sack my Gastrodon at this point. It's toxic, so it can't be Vaporeon. And I'm going to go into my Explode. But click Knockoff, not Close Combat, which is a bit unfortunate. But what are you gonna do? Let's see, Surf Edged. I'm gonna slow down usage. I don't think they're Leak. They're probably Choice Banded, but maybe they're Leak. Boom Burst does OHKO that. Good. I'm just gonna go Boom Burst. They've weakened Rotom, so it dies. Silvally still is at 60%. So I think that's a pretty decent amount. And we've already seen the Vaporeon is really difficult to 2 KO with Explode. But it is what it is. I don't think they're Choice Scarf. If they're Choice Scarf, then they got me. You know? Okay, good. So that's dead. I'm actually gonna just I'm gonna stay in again against this. Okay, good. Then I'm gonna go into my Starmie. Figured they'd parting shot there, but they did not. Multi-attack again, good. And now I'm gonna go for I've already shown Thunderbolt. If I go for Ice Beam, I don't think maybe that kills. I mean, it's 10% left. It's a pretty small amount of damage. Yeah, see, I barely kill. Yeah, I'll go for it. Okay, they do go Vaporeon. Let's see if it's toxic. They shouldn't be. That's fine. Now they have to figure out what they want to wish into. Can't really touch me as they get the burn. So I'll take it. I'm going to Thunderbolt here. Thunderbolt won't do too much, but I do want to reveal that I have. I guess I have revealed that I have it. Yeah. Alright, this turn, I feel like they're definitely going to switch. So I'm going to click Ice Beam again. Okay, they did not switch. Okay. I'm getting all the predictions wrong today. Boom Burst should kill now. I believe they're in range of Boom Burst killing. So let's go into that. And let's prevent the Wish if we can. I guess it's a roll. Okay, good. Okay, now they don't know that I'm Silvally-Electric, so let's go into that. And now we can Grass Pledge. Grass Pledge will hit Mudsdale. And I really don't think that they have too much for this Silvally type at this point, right? Vaporeon cannot switch into it. Mudsdale is a problem. And their Silvally is so low. Once they got rid of their own Rotom, then it was sort of over. And their Surface, they definitely should not have sacked that, I feel. Nor their Salazzle. Because now all they have left is slow attackers. And you can see that that does a lot. At this point, I see they have leftovers. Let's see. Saving this, obviously. What do I not need? I don't need Scavalier anymore. I'm going to go hard into it. I'm going to go into my X-Cloud, click Boom Burst. And I have to sack something and actually sack Vaporeon. I cannot believe they sacked Vaporeon. That is crazy to me. Alright, at this point I'm going to sack Serena. I'm going to click Knockoff here. Prevent them from getting leftovers. Now at this point I can go back into X-Cloud. But Boom Burst again if something else dies. And now Silvally versus Silvally, I can just click multi-attack. So they should be the standard multi-attack flamethrower set, right? And I want to speed tie there, so it doesn't even matter. Alright. Well, that made up for some of my previous losses. That was a decent team. Definitely think that was a decent team. I think they definitely sacked mons they needed. But because their team was more balance-based, I was able to break through it with X-Cloud. I think the Scavalier is definitely showing why it's not a great set. But, oh well. Okay. I'm going to need to lead off with my Silvally. They lead off with Rotom, which they should. Then I want to be able to scout its set. They lead off with the Simeon. I'm going to go for a U-turn here. I'm actually pretty fighting weak as well, now that I look at it. Now this is the Choice Scarf set, yeah, and it is. Then that is a major problem. So I probably need to keep a few mons healthy here. Good, they go into Rotom. That's really quite fantastic. Okay. If that's Choice Scarf, though, I don't think this would be Choice Scarf. I think a pretty safe rationale. It's not the best rationale, but it's the rationale I'm going to run with. Because if I'm going to win this game, I need to make a few good plays. Okay, and you know the plot. Ice Beam does 84%. I'm going to Starmie. Look, Ice Beam. I don't want to predict the Vaporeon. I sort of committed to this angle of play. You know? Okay. I'm going to go into my... I'm actually going to stay in a Thunderbolt here. Okay. Then I'm going to click Ice Beam. I don't want to allow them to pass into Rotom. And yeah, they probably will Wish Protect here. But if they Protect, then it doesn't matter what play I make, you know? Okay, I'm just going to click Thunderbolt again. Does about 50%. They are leftovers, so it's a bit of a risk. But since I've shown Ice Beam, I don't know what they'll do. Okay, they go into Heliolisk there, which is probably what they should have been doing. And Gastrodon actually is not that heavy. From what I recall, Heliolisk does not do that much with Grass Knot. Why is Grass Knot on this set? What the heck? Okay, no, it does 66%. I'm not going to go into Gastrodon then. We're going to go into my own Silvally. As a quick U-turn. That's fair. That's fair. I'm allowing my Silvally to get it chipped. They should realize that, go for Simeon, and just click Close Combat. Probably a good play on their part. Yeah, as they do. And Passimian against Gastrodon is 2KO against Silvally-Electric. Does 69% maximum. So that's a roll. I'll take it though. If I can get rid of this, that'll be great. If I don't get rid of it, then it is what it is. They go stack attacker. Now I'm definitely in range. So unfortunately they did not choke and sack. I'm gonna go into a Scavalier. I'm trying to go Gastrodon. Let's go and Toxic. Toxic is crazy. Okay, we're gonna go into Rotom, hopefully. I'm gonna go into Vaporeon. Vaporeon would be a safer play. Let's go into Rotom. But hey, we take those. I'm going to Serena now. They may go for Pain Split, which would be unfortunate. They have not seen a single move of theirs yet. Go for Trick. I'm not Choice Specs. I was not expecting that. Okay, I'm going to go for U-turn here. They're going to Talon Flame as they should. Okay, now we go into the Silvally. And they're definitely going to U-turn here. But in case they decide to Will-O-Wisp or something, I'm just going to multi-attack. Okay, yep. So kill the Rotom, go stack attacker, that's fine. I'm going to U-turn here. Watch him go back into Talonflame. Get the burn. Yep, I called that play. Great. Okay, go Starmie. I'm going to go into to my... I actually don't know what I want to do. Definitely going to just sack the Rotom here. Right? I feel like that's a pretty obvious play on their part. If they go into Vaporeon, that'd be great. So then I can get a recover off. Oh wow. I don't know if that crit mattered, but going into Analytic Boosted Ice Beam, probably not the smartest play my opponent's made. What, did you think I was going to quick Hydro Pump on the Rotom sack? Weird. Especially when they have Vaporeon, you know? Alright, let's go and sack Silvally. It's not doing anything for me at this point. There's a quick U-turn. My opponent has a lot of fast U-turners. Alright, Passimian, I didn't really feel like I saw a lot of Passimians back in the day. So maybe it's coming back in the metagame. Maybe that's just my opponent, who knows. Alright. I'm gonna go into X-Cloud. Quick Boom Burst. We've seen before that it does not kill with Brave Bird. And I want to get something dead. Okay, they're going to probably sack the Rotom now. At least I feel like they would. Hopefully they sack Passimian. I love that. There's a go Vaporeon. I don't know if that was the play. Going hard Vaporeon is not really going to win you the game. Because now, yeah, you can protect. But it should be to a KO. Unless I get some low rolls. And even if I do get a bunch of low rolls, you're still on the back foot this entire time. Alright. I'm going to Serena here. I can get off a knockoff here. We'll go Talonflame. Talonflame is no longer boots. I'll take that. I'm going to Gastrodon. Is a click Roost. And now I'm going to click the Artisan Ice Beam. So they probably don't think I have Scald. But Ice Beam is all I really have to hit this. Actually, I should have predicted the Vaporeon. That would have been a better play. Now that I think about it. Let's go back into X-Cloud and pressure my opponent. I'll click Boom Burst here. I can't really heal anything except for the stack attacker, which cool if you do that, but like what are you going to do? I'm actually going to predict my opponent to switch here. It's a bit of a risky play, but I feel like I need to make a play to get back in the game. As my opponent actually just goes for Body Press. Fair enough. I died of Stealth Rock. So that's game. Alright. Yeah, if I had predicted them to go back into Talonflame, that would have been a cool play. But what are you going to do? Alright, let's try to get a win and then we can call it a day. Alright, this is a decently good opponent. We brought Psychic Spam. That's a problem. I'm going to lead off with Serena here. Lead off with Jellicent, that's good. Lead off with Copperaja. They may want to scout for close combat or high jump kick or whatever. Or they may just want to get up Stealth Rock. And I wouldn't begrudge them anyway. Could go and hit on top to get the Intimidate off. As they are Shookaberry Heat Crash. Well, there you go, boys. I did not expect that one. Okay. You know, one play we could make is going into Exploud, pretending like we don't know what we're doing, and then clicking Boom Burst on their Jellicent. That'd be interesting. Since they've shown Heat Crash, probably should not go for Scavalier in case they outspeed. I'm gonna go Boom Burst. I'm gonna make that play. I'm gonna pretend like we're clicking Overheat. They could just say, you know, I don't care about your Overheat. They might want to save this Copperage and go Jellicent. We'll see. Nope, that play did not work out. Unfortunate. Alright. It is what it is. Thunderbolt time. That gets a kill. But of course, that's fine for them. They can safely go into their Indeedee here, get all the Psychic Terrain, go into Sceptile, and just proceed to sweep me. At least that's what they're probably aiming for, I would assume. Their Espeon is probably also like Spec Shadow Ball, or maybe it's Calm Mind Stored Power. I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. I do outspeed Non-Scarf Espeon, and the initial Hydro Pump should be decently powerful, but I don't know. Okay, they decided to go hard Sceptile here. Leaf Blade probably kills me, so I have to go into a Scavalier here, as they decide to go into Hitmontop. And click Knockoff here. Feel like you should go Jellicent, but they decide not to. Their Assault Vest. Okay, just gonna sack this. It's too weak to live the Sceptile at this point. Alright, back into Starmie it is. Now, Ice Beam, even if it's Assault Vest. Okay, yeah, so that's set. Probably Starmie. -2 Spadef. Assault Vest, 43%. I'm gonna go for Ice Beam. Sure. What are they gonna do now? Probably just go back to the Sceptile and win is probably what they're gonna do. Alright, now they're going to Jellicent. That's sort of nice. Maybe not. I'm going to Gastrodon here. I want to let that get weakened. And I don't think I was killing anyway. Look, Ice Beam here. Needs to go Sceptile. As they probably should. Okay. I'm going to go for Earthquake. So they're Hex, Toxic, and Recover, and something else. I'm not exactly sure what. Strange Sap, maybe? I guess you could run Strange Sap as well. And then Scald maybe is their last move. That would make some sense. Okay, so we're gonna go for that. I'm gonna go into Silvally. If they decide to Hex again, you know, that's whatever. But if they go for Recover, that means I get in safely. I'm gonna go for multi-attack first, because they might try to go for Scald or Toxic. And then I can start setting up Flame Charges to hopefully outspeed the Sceptile in the endgame. Even if I outspeed the Sceptile, like what am I doing? I don't know if it's special or physical. Could be Special Leaf Storm. Okay, so they do decide to stay in, so I'm glad I didn't overpredict there. I definitely showed my opponent in the early game that I was willing to overpredict. So I think they are probably going to expect that kind of play from me overall. Okay, that did nothing. That was a lot less damage than I was expecting from Indeedee. So yeah, gonna U-turn here. Don't want to sack this just yet. Sack Gastrodon. Go into this. U-turn again. They might even save this just so they can keep the terrain, but maybe not. Guys, I don't even get the kill. So they definitely invested in some bulk. But yeah. I actually want to recover here. If I can. Now they haven't shown any item yet. I wonder if I should Ice Beam this turn. Because if they see me recover spamming, they're going to be like, oh, I better get my subtile while I can. You know, that sort of makes sense to me. So go SP on here. But yeah, that's about the same amount. That's what I was thinking. Okay, I'm actually going to Hydro Pump here. No, I'm actually going to recover here. I could have Specs Shadow Ball. Specs Expanding Force, that works too. Now I'm going to Hydro Pump here. Okay, let's double down. Go to Silvally. And to get that off. So that's fair enough. And they should just kill me here with Earthquake or whatever they have. Let's get one more. On a bit of a tilt here. But I definitely think I've made some major misplays, but I think my team is just really bad. Like I said at the beginning, don't think this is a particularly good team. Got Silvally-Electric on it, and it's a very slow team with a lot of glaring weaknesses. But we're just trying to have fun. No rocks is also hurting me quite a bit. Alright. I'm gonna go Gastrodon as lead actually. Let's go Gastrodon here. See what we can get. We lead off with Tyrantrum, so holy cow. Am I glad I let off with Gastrodon. Because that would have been a bad lead matchup otherwise. But Gastrodon is actually a decent lead matchup. Maybe not quite so much as I was thinking. But it is what it is. Scavalier here, because I feel like that's choice banded. Now I'm going to click the knockoff. Knockoff will hurt a lot of the stuff that wants to come in. That's a Salt Vest. That's sort of a weird set. Go Gastrodon here. Don't know what this wants to do. Wants to Stone Edge. Okay. Cool. Cool, my guy. Just gonna sack this. The Rapid Spin. Okay. You don't see an Armaldo every day. Let's do this one. It's a bit bulkier, right? It's a bit bulkier. And then let's look at the damage that Scavalier did. Knockoff doing about in range of what that is. So maybe about that bulky. Let me go into Silvally-Electric. Multi-attack is not killing. So I gotta go into Starmie. This is max 207. It's 250. Yeah, I almost certainly outspeed this. Right. Now we have to Hydro Pump. I know they'll probably go Heliolisk, but I don't want to risk them staying in. Then me going for Ice Beam looking like an idiot. Yeah, like that. So, just gonna take that. Okay. So that was a 1-for-1. And I got good damage off on the Tyrantrum as well. When we scouted it, I'm pretty sure that's Choice Banded to do that much. Okay, this is gonna say, hey, I'm Choice Scarf. If they are, then it's not gonna do too much. Serena. I just barely outspeed Tyrantrum, so they can't go back into that. Heliolisk isn't a good matchup. It's in the middle of Piloswine. I don't want to take an Ice Shard or anything of that nature. I'm gonna go hard into a Scavalier here. As I go for Ice Skull Crash. And that does a lot of damage. A lot of damage. I wonder how much investment you'd run on Piloswine. Let's see. Cavalier. Yeah, I feel like it's got to be offensive of some nature, right? The guy's so much. Well, at this point, let's just see what we can get out of it. And I actually got a lot out of that. Okay, I was fully committing to sacking that, but I guess they didn't feel comfortable that I wouldn't outspeed them. I'll take that, 100%. At this point, I could go Serena, but I need the Serena's healthy so it can take the Rotom's hits. So I'm just going to sack this, I think, is the correct play. If I don't have any ground types, it's a bit of unfortunate situation, but it is what it is. All right, they're forcing me back into the Serena. So I don't have anything else for Choice Scarf Serena. Going to click U-turn here. As I click Volt Switch, as I should. I'm going to go probably Tyrantrum, yep, and sack that. And I'm going to go into, let's see, 260. There has to be Exploud. Let me see. Tyrantrum. And new Choice Banded. This is Gastrodon. And did 75% almost. So that is the range of this. That's adamant damage. This Jolly, can it get that much? Cannot, so it's adamant. It has 241. Means this outspeeds. That can come in Boom Burst. Okay. That's one of those calcs that you have to do. Because going into Silvally-Electric would have revealed my type. And although I don't really think that my type does too much for me in this game, it is something to consider. And also, my Exploud just threatens everything on his team, right? It's outspeeding this really scary, I think, Banded Piloswine. And I can actually get off a ton of damage on it. Against Exploud. Yeah, if they're not Eviolite, I think there's just a one-shots them. Yeah, they're not Eviolite, so that one-shots them. So that's the power of Exploud. And I admire their using Banded Piloswine or whatever that was. Because I think Piloswine is a fantastic Pokemon. Really fun to use. But at the same time, giving up the Eviolite, you lose a lot of bulk. And I think Eviolite Piloswine is probably just better. At this point, I'm just going to stay in Boom Burst. It kills probably something. I'm guessing Rotom dies. Yeah, it does. Good. And I don't think Heliolisk can beat what's in the back, right? You gotta lock yourself into like Hyper Voice or something. It's not really a great look. As I decide to, maybe they're not locked in, I don't know. We can find out. I'm not gonna knock them off, that's for sure. Let me just see. Serena here against Heliolisk. The Choice Scarf, I guess that's the problem. But if they're just this, +1, we do have speed. Power of just one-shots though. Let's just go for that. Okay, good. I could have Rapid Spun and then gone for Power Whip. That way I'd get off Guaranteed Chip. But if they were Choice Scarf, I didn't want to risk that. Alright. So in the end, we come out with fewer points than when we started, I'm pretty sure. Lots of ups and downs in this live. Definitely more downs than ups, unfortunately. Problems with this team. First of all, it is very Rotom weak. I knew that going into it. I built this team and I said, wow, that is Rotom weak. But I wanted to use these Pokemon. Starmie, I think, you can see that Starmie is very powerful, has good speed tier, so I think that was very useful. Having Recover was quite useful against like Talonflame and stuff like that. So I don't necessarily begrudge that. I think the Exploud is really powerful as well. This Cavalier probably needs to go. Probably needs to be replaced with something else. Or at the very least, run a better set, right? The Choice Band wasn't really getting too much value, unfortunately. I thought Gastrodon would have been better. I almost would have eschewed having the Earthquake. I think having Ice Beam Scald might have been a better situation. Clear Smog didn't really come into play that much. Having Toxic definitely would have been better. Because, that Jellicent, for instance, and against Vaporeon, it definitely would be better. So, this team isn't like particularly Blastoise weak, so maybe not a great idea to have Clear Smog instead of Toxic. So, I definitely would replace that with Toxic, so we're learning that. This Serena set is fine. Definitely nice to have Rapid Spin on it because the Starmie doesn't. And of course this team needs some kind of rocker, so having this Cavalier replaced with a Stealth Rock Pokemon like Stakataka or even Copperajah maybe, or just anything that would be good for rocks could be nice. And then of course replace the Silvally-Electric with any other Silvally that would be good, right? Silvally Steel, Silvally Ground. There's a reason people use them. Even, I don't know. Silvally Water, I want to say would be good because people always use Arceus Water and Ubers. And so in my mind, I feel like, Silvally Water, that should be a good Pokemon. But I really don't think probably that's a good Pokemon just because it doesn't have Recover and the other things that make Arceus Water good, right? You can't use Ice Beam, Multi-Attack, and then Toxic Recover or some set like that. And even if you could, there'd be other Pokemon that could probably do it better. it is what it is. Ultimately, this team definitely not the greatest, but we're here to have fun and be bad on the ladder, and I think we accomplished that today. So I'll catch you guys next time.